Hello, found a relatively quiet space of an airport. That never happens. It's hot. It's really hot. First flight was good. I'll talk more later. But I'm here. I've now got a 4-hour wait. And then the next one. Can't wait. Oh, thrilled. Tired. Still can't believe I'm actually going. Or, on my way. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But we're doing it. And I've just vlogged whilst people walked past, which is a big deal for me. Okay, I'll speak to you later. Hello, I feel like I've probably not spoken to you since I got here, I don't think. It's very sunny and I'm still, I think, trying to figure out the best place for you to be, or for me to be. It is now Monday morning, I think it's about 9 o'clock, and I've got a lot to catch you up on. My work on Wednesday was really good, and I felt we finished a little bit early, which was good because it meant I had time to change and make sure everything was ready for me to go. I feel like I've got something in my eye. This lighting is awful, give me a minute. I'm not really sure if this is much better, but we're gonna stick with it for now because you've just got like awkward lighting, but anyway. So work was good, had plenty of time to get myself ready to go to the airport, had an easy journey to the airport. I ended up getting there, I think 3.5 hours before my flight, which for me is lovely, no stress. And then checked in, went through security. I think it was all quite quick, reasonably. There were long lines actually, that's not true. There were long lines at the check-in, but it moved and I spoke to my mum while I was in the line and it seemed like there was a long line for security, but that also moved quite quickly. And then my plan was, because I had so much time, to sort of chill for an hour or so, listen to my audiobook, and then an hour before the gate is shown, go to get some food. I mean, I did have a lot of food with me, but I was given some extra cash from my manager, which was very nice of them. So I was going to treat myself. But alas, I was in Terminal 4 of Heathrow, and there are very limited food options. There's no McDonald's or Burger King or anything like that. And they had a pret-a-manger, so I thought that could be nice. But it was £7.50 for a wrap, and I thought, even though this is free money, I'm not spending £7.50 on a wrap just on principle. So I ended up just sitting some more and listening to more of my audiobook and calling family members, I think. And the flights, so I flew with China Eastern, and honestly, it was very comfortable. In my life, I've done trips to Australia probably over 10 times, I think. But when my whole family came over to Spain at the start of this year, they were all saying how taxing it is to do that journey. And so I was just thinking to myself, maybe I've forgotten, maybe it is less comfortable or less easy than I remember. I've never struggled with it in the past, but I was a bit worried that maybe I just, it's like pregnancy or something, or giving birth, where you have like a, what's it called, where you block it out, where you forget it, whatever. But it was a really easy journey. Look, it's not comfortable, it's not the best, but I really didn't have any problems with it. I could do it, 2 to 3 times a year, except for obviously the cost and the time and things like that. And also, I think I've spoken about this on here, that I've basically been going non-stop for about 10 days up until my flight. Go, 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 very little time to have time to myself and very little time to even sleep. It was all very constant. So by the time I was sat at the gate waiting to board, I was already knackered. Like I could feel myself falling asleep. And once we got on the plane, I was asleep before takeoff. We had a very long taxi journey and, you know, waiting in the plane before takeoff, and I was asleep. I woke up again for takeoff, but I was so tired. Now, the way I do it, everyone does it differently, but the way I try and do it when I know I have to deal with jet lag, is as soon as I get on the plane, I change my watch and all my clocks to the time of where I'm going, so in this case, Australia, and I try to sort of work on that time zone already. So by the time I got on the plane, I think it was about 7 in the morning in Australia. So I wanted to stay awake for as long as possible. But because I was so tired, I was fighting to keep my eyes open, and eventually I had to give in. So I slept a couple of hours on the first flight, very broken up of course, but I slept. And then I felt ready, like I wanted to be awake, and I felt like it was possible. And I opened my window just a tiny bit because they'd asked us to close them. And I could see it was really bright outside, and I was like trying to use the light to wake up. And I could tell that if I'd been allowed to have my window all the way open, I would have been able to stay awake. But because I wasn't allowed to, and I had to keep it closed, the darkness and everything just made me very sleepy again, and I fell back asleep. But I did force myself to wake up earlier than I think I would have otherwise. On the first flight, I had registered myself as a vegetarian. I said I want a vegetarian meal, and they just didn't seem to have any information about that on the first flight. So that wasn't ideal, but I can't praise the stewards and stewardesses enough. Like, they really worked hard to make it okay. And they were very, apologetic and kind about it. So I really, really do appreciate that. And then I got to Shanghai airport. And initially, one thing about changing my clocks to Australian time and not having looked up beforehand what the time difference is to Shanghai, I had no sense of what time it was. And there were no clocks or anything to see the local time. I knew I had a long layover, so I knew I'd be fine. But I was a bit like, it would help to know how long I've got. We had to show our boarding passes about 7 times between getting off the plane and getting to the next gate, which I thought was a little bit excessive, but hey-ho. Anyway, eventually, it took a long time to get through all those different boarding security things, but eventually we get through, and I sort of just ask one of the guards or whatever, I was like, can you just tell me what the time is? And they told me, and I was like, right, okay, so I have like 5 hours. But then after that point, again, I didn't have a watch or anything on me, so I had no idea. But at least they showed the gate really early on, so I was able to just go to the gate and sit there, and they had a socket, so I did do some editing, which was really nice, and I just killed time. But there was no Wi-Fi. Well, there was Wi-Fi in theory, but it wasn't working. So I was trying every form I could think of to send messages to my family to let them know I was okay. And eventually, the thing that worked was Instagram Messenger. So I messaged my friend, because none of my family have Instagram, messaged my friend to say, can you message these numbers and just let them know I'm okay? But that was the only thing that worked, nothing else. Instagram itself wouldn't load, like just nothing worked. But anyway, had a fine wait, and then got on the second plane, and they did know I was vegetarian there, so that was good. And again, at that point, because I'd had such a long wait, I kind of got tired again, so I was able to sleep a little bit on the second plane. Not loads, but enough. I think in total, over the 2 flights, I probably slept 6 or 7 hours, which is really not bad. And I was happy to sleep that second flight because that was the night time in Australia. So I slept, and then I woke up and, had easy journeys. And then we arrived, we landed. We had a gorgeous sunrise as well. That was pretty. Although we didn't see the actual moment the sun sort of emerged, which was a shame. But you saw the pretty colours, which made me very happy. And then it was Friday morning here, and my parents came to pick me up, and my brother, which was a nice surprise. And then I came home, had a very quick shower, and then we went out for lunch, which was nice, really nice. We went to a crepe place. And then we did a little bit of shopping, last minute things, and then we came back, and I think at that point we sort of had to start getting ready for Yom Kippur. I can't remember if I did anything else I had to do a self-tape, so I did that. So typical, always whenever you go away you need to do an audition. But I did the self-tape, and then I read a little bit, I think. And then we made Friday nights pre-Yom Kippur, and Yom Kippur is a Jewish fast day. It's like the most serious Jewish holiday, and usually you just spend the whole day praying, basically. So Friday night we went to shul, to synagogue, and that was the point at which I was really starting to drop. I stayed for like the first prayer or two, which are like the big ones, and then the rabbi had a speech, And it was during the speech that I was really struggling. Well, even during the prayers, I was struggling to stay awake. But I really wanted to pray a little bit more before going. So I was with my sister and I said to her, listen, I'm going to go through sort of these next few pages and then I think I have to go because otherwise I will not get home, because I also still had to walk home. And luckily she was willing to come with me, so we stayed and then came home and then basically went straight to bed. So by that point I think it was just before 10. So I'd been up the whole day, which is great in terms of jet lag. Usually jet lag makes me... I'm usually fine with during the day and then usually I'm tired sort of around 5, 6 and need to go to bed then. So to make it to 10 o'clock was quite impressive in my opinion. And then I slept until about 9 on Saturday morning, which again, great, slept through the night. I think I woke up once but went right back to sleep. And then read quite a bit on Saturday morning until the rest of the family woke up and we went to shul again. And then came back and I don't think there was that long. I think we had an hour where me and my parents just chatted, which we always end up doing obviously because there's a lot to catch up on. And then there was an hour where everyone else napped and I read, because on Shabbat you can't set alarms or anything like that, so I volunteered to be the person to wake them. And then we went to shul again. And then we finished the Yom Kippur, the Shabbat, everything. We ate some food, we drank some water, which was good. I think we then watched something after. We stayed home and watched, I think, Pirates of the Caribbean. And just to backtrack, so with fasting, I think as a family we're all pretty good fasters, but I'm usually, I feel very good in my fasting. I'm really not a foodie and I don't eat very much anyway, so for me to not eat, it's fine. But the thing is also you can't have water or anything to drink for 25 hours. So that always gets me. Usually around sort of 3, 4 o'clock I end up getting a headache and that just stays until the end of the fast. And you start to feel a little bit woozy, a little bit lightheaded, which unfortunately is the same symptoms as being jet lagged. So I couldn't tell if I was just tired and woozy from not eating and drinking or if I was tired and woozy from the jet lag. Either way, I ended up staying up till I think past 11 on Saturday night, so that was good. And then on Sunday morning I woke up at 5 to 7 in the morning, which it's fine, but it wasn't ideal. And then on Sunday we did some shopping and a couple of other things, lots of errands. I feel like Sunday kind of slipped away from me. Oh, and then in the afternoon we had to build the sukkah, which is the next Jewish holiday because this month is full of Jewish holidays. And the sukkah is like a tent that you have in your garden and you have to build it because it's not meant to be a permanent structure. And so we spent a good couple of hours doing that. But we're pretty far. I think all we've got left to do is decorations, which should be easy enough. And isn't actually necessary, obviously. And then last night we watched a couple of things again. I think it was The Big Bang Theory and I was falling asleep during it. That was around 10 o'clock, I think. I was really struggling to keep my eyes open, so I went to bed. And then I woke up this morning at 6:30, which again, just not ideal. It's fine, but I'd have preferred to sleep in a little bit longer. Because now I think I'm going to be tired again tonight and then this is just going to be a recurring pattern, which is a shame. Especially because from Wednesday onwards, we've got all the chagim again, so we've got meals where you have to stay up late. So that's annoying. So this is my first day I feel that I've actually got to myself. I am doing something probably in about an hour. Yes, exactly an hour from now, which will be an hour long. Oh, there you go. That's my notification to say it's an hour from now. And then I'm planning to have lunch with my mum. And then I think after that, I am more or less free, which is good, which is nice because I feel like I've done some sort of organising and clearing this morning because up until now I've just sort of dumped things and not had a proper chance to unpack properly and sort myself out and everything. But I feel like I've done most of it this morning. I'm going to do a couple more things probably in the next hour, although I do also plan on reading a bit more. And I want to update my wearing because I've now got more clothes and I need to find, I've still got more clothes. I'm in one room now and I think there's more clothes in another room. This is not the room that was mine when I was here, which is sad. But yeah, I feel like this is the first day I've actually got to catch up on things and process things. Hence this 20-minute long clip of me just chatting to you with very annoying lighting. So yeah, I'm gonna get on with my things and I will probably try and catch up with you later in the day. Bye! Oh, also my sister gave me a thing to loan and I love it, or to keep actually, and it makes me very happy. Bye! Major accomplishment today. We found, oh my battery's dying. I found the giant dressing gown and some slippers, because the thing is, Australian houses are obviously not designed for colder weather or even for medium weather, so it gets very, very cold, and I have been very cold in this house. I've been living in a jumper and I'm very happy. I finally remembered why I lived in this fluffy jumper before, and I'm gonna live in it again. Yay! And now I really need to charge this. Bye! Hello. I feel like it's been a while since I've chatted to you. I've been busy, but also I have so much footage and other stuff on my computer that I'm really running low on space, and so I'm a bit more hesitant to film until I've cleared up some stuff because I've not had a chance to edit in a long time. I did do some editing this morning and I've now finished with the Italy video. I've just saved it and I need to watch it back and check it's okay. But once I've done that, I then still need to make the family version of the video, so I can't actually delete the stuff yet, although that shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Although again, it is Chag tonight and for the next like 4 days, so we'll see how much I can get done. I had a lovely shower this morning where I washed my hair for the first time since I've been here, and I bought a new shampoo, which actually is the original, it's the same brand as the first curly hair shampoo I bought. I think it was during COVID, so kind of coming full circle, but it smelled amazing. It smelled so good. And I bought this new deodorant that smells so good. This is way too much information, so unimportant, but I'm just loving the way I smell at the moment. But then after my lovely shower where I washed my hair and felt really fresh, we then went into the Sukkah, which is what this holiday is. I don't know if I've spoken about this yet. Starting tonight, we have a holiday called Sukkot, which is 8 days long, and you sit in like an outside tent. I feel like I have spoken about this, but I could be mistaken. And we did most of the building on Sunday, and then the decorating we did yesterday morning, and then today we were doing the chairs and things like that. And I decided, and I don't know why I did this, but I just decided it would be a good idea to wipe the tables, which in theory, yes, but equally, you know, I could wait until tonight to be sure it doesn't rain again. But I just thought I'll do it now. And those tables, I'd forgotten, obviously it's been winter here, those tables have not been used for quite a while, and they have been sat outside, uncovered, for quite a while. So I was scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and the J-cloth I was using was disgusting. And I ended up having to move over to kitchen paper, and it feels really clean now, which is great obviously, but I did have to thoroughly wash my hands after. But actually I feel like myself, I was able to not get too dirty, so that's good. Now I have about 20 minutes because my sister is busy doing something, and then we're going out to run some errands for our parents so that it's all sorted when they get back from work. And I think my mum said she's going to treat us to a coffee as a result. So I think while we're out and about, we'll get a coffee, which they have really good iced coffees here. And it's quite a warm day, it's quite sunny, so yeah, I'm excited. And I feel like I'm now mostly, almost sort of at the point where I feel everything's in its place. There's still, I found a couple more things, so I need to put those away, but I first want to put them into wearing before I put them away. There's clothes in the cupboard I still want to put into wearing as well. There's all my jewellery I want to put into wearing. And then a big task that I just thought of sort of half an hour ago. I knew before coming here that I wanted to offer my sister some of my jewellery because, as I've complained about a lot on here, I don't wear the jewellery I own. And I have tried to get better, but there's still more than I need, and she really likes jewellery. So what I think I'm gonna do, here in Australia I have like a jewellery tree, so I think I'm gonna sort through. First I want to put it all into wearing, which actually might be silly, but I just want to make sure that whatever, I'll think about it. And then I'm gonna go through all the jewellery I have, which I think genuinely is all the jewellery I have because I brought everything back from the UK, unless I've left something in another suitcase somewhere. But I'm gonna go through all of it, and anything that I'd be happy to give to her, I'm gonna put on the tree, and I will show her the tree and say, do you want any of this? And if she doesn't, that's fine, I can keep it for myself. But if she does, excellent. My biggest issue actually is bracelets, because I don't ever wear bracelets, and it's not one of the things I can see myself doing because I wear a watch, and I'm very happy with just a watch. So we shall see, we shall see. I don't think I spoke to you guys about yesterday. Yesterday in the morning, oh my goodness, in the morning I spent about an hour and a half trying to sort out my Australian SIM, but we've now got it working, so that's good. It was an incredible deal. It was $10. It's only for 1 month, but it's $10, which is £5 for 35 gigabytes. 35 gigabytes of data, mad. Plus I think 100 minutes of unlimited calls and texts within Australia, but also counting 30 something other countries, which is amazing, amazing. Anyway, so I spent a long time sorting that out. Then I did the Sukkah, then we had lunch, or I had lunch. I finished my book as well. I've been reading a book for the Dear Hopefuls channel, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which I will have discussed on there, but I think I'm also going to do a separate video on my own channel as a book review, because I just have a lot to say about it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I met up with a friend who I've obviously not seen in 18 months and who I'm very close to, and it was so lovely seeing her. It was only short, but she lives in a really nice area, so we walked around the area. She's moved since I've sort of last been here, so I've not seen it before, and it was just really nice. And then I came home and the evening was very chaotic because both my parents were working late, and obviously they have a lot of prep to do for tonight, and they're also working not till late tonight, but late by sort of Chag standards. They won't have much time to prep for this evening. So last night I came home, and about half an hour later my mum came home, and then she was dashing off somewhere, and we were trying to sort of figure out what we were going to have for supper. My sister made her own thing, but then we did wraps, so I sort of spent, whilst she was out, I spent the time chopping stuff up and having it ready for the wraps, and that was a really lovely meal, really, really satisfying. And then she came back, we ate, and then we all went shopping. Well, me, her and my sister, and that was good. And then we were going to go for an ice cream. There's an ice cream place that is my one mission for this holiday. I had the same mission actually for Italy, but my mission for being here, hello, don't be so dramatic. My mission for being in Australia is to go to that one ice cream place. That's my only goal. So we were going to go to it, but it was already closed, so that was a shame. And then we went somewhere else to pick up a couple more things, and then we came home and then unpacked all the shopping. We had a lot of shopping to unpack. And then at this point I was dropping, because I have been, my jet lag, I've basically had no jet lag, except for the fact that my body seems to be sort of 2 hours behind. So I'm getting tired at like 10 and waking up at like 6, which is incredibly annoying. And I mean, I did get a really pretty picture of a sunrise, or not even sunrise, first light, so I'll pop that in as I'm talking now. And the worst thing is it's been going backwards. So Saturday night, I think I may have spoken about this as well. Saturday night I went to bed at 11:30, woke up at 6:30, or yeah, either 6:30 or 6:55, I can't remember. The next day I think I went to bed at 11 and woke up at either 6:30 or 6:55, and then I went to bed at I think 10:30 and woke up at 6. So it's been getting worse. But then last night I forced myself with all the shopping and everything that we had going on, and then we actually watched one episode of The Big Bang Theory as well, and so I ended up going to bed I think at 11:30. I just bit my tongue. And I was really proud of the fact that I stayed up so late, because I was really hoping that would sort of help me shift my natural body clock, whatever, to being more accurate as to how I want it. And so I came to my room around 11:30, and I really need, my phone charger isn't working properly. It's like the head that's got a problem, not the charger, not the lead. But it means that my phone is never fully charged. It's always at like 60% at most if I'm lucky, because it's charging super slowly. And so I was like, I need to get my phone in the charger, because at that point it was at like 20-something%. But I obviously fell asleep. I just fell asleep, just knocked out. And I woke up in the morning to my phone being on 4%. So I've plugged it in now. I'm hoping it'll get some juice. But it's really, really interesting to me, because I have never been an easy sleeper. I've always been somewhat of an insomniac, and it's got better and it's got worse over time. But I've never been one of those people who can just put their head to their pillow and, you know, be asleep. But for the last few days, because of the jet lag, I presume, I just, even before my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep. And it's such a nice and strange experience to like just fall asleep when you're tired. Amazing. And then today I woke up first at like 8:30, and then I was like, no, I can sleep more. I can feel that my body's still tired. So I ended up waking up at 9:30, which is fantastic. So very happy about that. And then we've just, as I said, done some more of the sukkah, and now we're about to go out. And I don't know, to be honest, if I'm going to get another chance to speak to you before tonight. I feel like I should. In theory, I should, but I just don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, that's all for now. Those are my updates. See ya!